talk about goals. Let's talk about planning. So when I talk about goals, a lot of people equate goals in their life to things they've said in the past. And let me quite frankly, to forgive the pun with my name, quite frankly say that quite often people in their lives, when they set goals, it's like a New Year's resolution. What do you do with a New Year's resolution? You go to the gym for a week or two and then say, or go running for a while and go, I don't think I'm going to do that anymore. Those ones are focused on weight loss. Maybe it's stop smoking was a resolution. And as a lot of smokers out there know, you can stop smoking so many times. You can stop smoking 10 times every day. A lot of times goals turn out like that, like New Year's resolutions. It's great to have them. But it's kind of useless if you don't make an action plan to pursue them. So for a business owner, a business has to be a purpose-driven organization. There is a purpose for a business, and that purpose is to generate a profit. And one of the key aspects of generating that profit is creating goals and action plans. If you follow Franklin Covey, you'll recognize the statement, build it with the end in mind. Okay, that's all talking about goals. Know where you're going right from the very beginning and have that vision of what you want to be. One of the things we believe you should do is when you start a business, you should pick a date somewhere in the future where the business is done. Okay, you've built the business to the point where it is ready to achieve the thing you wanted out of that business, whether it's sell it or replicate it, or whatever the done looks like for your business. Pick a date out there in the future. By picking that date, you can then set goals in order to achieve that. And when I say that, let's talk about goals. Let's talk about SMART goals. SMART, as many people know, it's specific, measurable, achievable, results-oriented, and timely. You want to try to make your goals and identify them in those manners. Does that mean that you shouldn't make a goal if it's not measurable? No, sometimes there are important things that are not easily, at least not easily measurable. For example, improving communication within your organization. How do you measure improved communication? It's a very, very valuable thing. It's an essential thing, but it's really hard to measure. You can, as a subset of improving communication, you can put in some very measurable tasks like team meetings with agendas every week or group huddles every morning. So you can wind up having some tasks that are measurable, but the overall goal of improving communication, it's worth having, even if it's not. So anyways, I digress. Talking about making these goals so that you can wind up getting your business to where it needs to go. How do you wind up setting the timeline, the scope, and the detail of those goals? Here's what I believe. Every business should have a planning cycle, and the planning cycles have 3 different degrees. First off, weekly planning. Every week you should spend an hour planning out the next week, whether you're making those plans on Monday for the rest of the week, or Friday for the next week, or Wednesday because it's your slow day, so you have the time to. The day does not essentially matter very much, but spend an hour planning out the next week. Will that plan change? If you follow the old Murphy's Law quote, the best laid plan is set aside as soon as you meet the enemy, or something like that. Of course, plans will change, but you need to spend that hour making that plan so that you have identified and know what you need to do, what the important things are, what the big rocks are. Make sure you get those done, the important priority things. So 1 hour a week. How do you know during that 1 hour planning session, though, what you need to focus on? Well, let's go up to the next level of planning. That's quarterly planning. Every 90 days, once per quarter, set aside 1 day for quarterly planning Quarterly planning is where you make your 90-day action plan. You set your SMART goals. Where do you want the business to be in 5 years? Dial it back to 1 year, dial it and say, okay, now 1 year. What does it have to look like in 90 days in order to achieve that 1 year goal? All right, now, in order to achieve that 90-day goal, what do you have to do every week? So I said improve communications in 90 days. So in order to improve communications, I need to set up some team meetings, okay, so that everybody knows what everybody's doing and we can work better together as a team. As we like at Wasatch ActionCOACH, team is an acronym. Together, everybody achieves more. So we set up team meetings. What else might we wind up having to do? Maybe create some position descriptions for everybody that's in the business so they know what their job is. They create an organizational chart so they know when they have to talk about stuff, who they have to talk about and what the communication flow through the business is. All those things are a part of the overall goal of improving communication. So 90-day planning, set your overall goal, improve communication. Now weekly, we say we got to do team meetings. We have to start working on creating position descriptions. We have to create an organizational chart. We have to share that organizational chart with everybody so everybody knows what it is. These are all part of that facet. Now, earlier I alluded to 3 levels of planning. So we now have the weekly planning, 1 hour, quarterly planning, 1 day, yearly planning, 1 week. Set aside, as a business owner, set aside 1 week every year for yearly planning. Why do you do that? So yearly planning, it really gets to the next level of planning. It's like reviewing your vision and your mission. It's professional development. Maybe it's going to some conventions and rebluing yourself, if you will, and getting excited about your industry. If you've been in your industry for 5 years and you haven't gone to a convention, and you're probably not as excited about your industry as you were 5 years ago. Once a year, you need to spend 1 week making sure that excitement level is there. And that is part of the planning, so that so that you can say, okay, here is the vision. I'm so excited. I'm going to do this. I'm going to bring this back to my team. Maybe I'm going to take my team with me because the more people I bring with me to these conventions, that gets everything going. We learn so much. When we bring people there, that means I'm not the only one coming back with ideas that I don't have to be the one that implements everything. I have a whole team that's going to work on it. So that's the three levels of planning. And a business really needs to be focused on doing all 3 levels of those. Weekly planning, 1 hour, quarterly planning, 1 day, and yearly planning, 1 week. Make it happen.